You know what's wild? Most people are still overpaying for car insurance just because it's a pain to switch. That's why there's Jerry. Jerry is the only app that compares rates from over 50 insurers in minutes and helps you switch fast with no spam calls or hidden fees. Drivers who save with Jerry could save over $1,300 a year. Before you renew your car insurance policy, do yourself a favor. Download the Jerry app or head to jerry.ai/acast.
AI is transforming customer service. It's real and it works. And with Finn, we've built the #1 AI agent for customer service. We're seeing lots of cases where it's solving up to 90% of real queries for real businesses. This includes the real-world complex stuff like issuing a refund or cancelling an order. And we also see it when Finn goes up against competitors. It's top of all the performance benchmarks, top of the G2 leaderboard, and if you're not happy, we'll refund you up to $1 million, which I think says it all. Check it out for yourself at fin.ai.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Kilowatt, a podcast about electric vehicles, renewable energy, autonomous driving, and much, much more. My name is Bodie, and I am your host, and today we're going to talk about some EV news, but before we do that, I missed the show. I missed the show because I am dealing with a lot of home repair stuff, and it took me all the way through the weekend, and it was not fun. Not fun at all. I'm also dealing with vendors, I guess tradespeople, like people who come out and give you estimates for things. And I find, and this is, everybody's been very nice, but I do find that when they come out and give you an estimate and then they send you the paperwork, at times it's different. It's not the same thing that I thought I was agreeing to. And I have to spend more time that I didn't want to spend sorting out why the numbers are different. And guess what? Those numbers that I'm expected to pay are never lower. It's just, that's just frustrating. But anyway, not the end of the world. It's mostly just garage door stuff, but not fun either. Not enjoying my home ownership in the last 2 weeks. But overall, I think it'll be okay. I'm starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel, I guess. I do have some fun news. If you live near Broomfield, Colorado, Cheesaloo. If you live near Broomfield, Colorado, and you want to go to a car show, or you want to just visit Broomfield Days, that's this Saturday, September 20th, again in Broomfield, Colorado. David, who is a member of this Kilowatt community that we have here, will be showing off his car at the car show. And he had a really cool idea, and I don't know if this is normal for car shows, but I think it's unique, is that he asked me for the logo of the Kilowatt show, like the show art, so that he can show what podcasts he listens to. And I thought that was very lovely. Number one, for him to consider me and displaying it there so that people could ask questions about it. But two, I wanted to give back and support. This is not an ad. I'm just doing this because it sounds like a fun thing to do. Again, Broomfield Days starts on September 19th, which is Friday, and then it goes all the way to the 21st, but it looks like the car show is on Saturday, the 20th. All right, let's go ahead and dig into our news. Honestly, this is going to be a really short episode simply because I just have not had time to put a show together. So in order for me to get this out today, we have 3 stories. That's it, 3. And that's all we got. So let's go ahead and jump into the first one. Stellantis is killing the fully electric Ram 1500. This was formerly known as the Ram Charger. Stellantis' reason for killing the pickup truck was slow demand for EV pickups. And you know what? I think that's a likely reason. That's like one reason why they did this. The other reason is, in the US anyway, Stellantis is not doing a very good job with EVs. And I would imagine that lackluster EV performance here in the US has spread throughout all of their US brands. And I don't know that their U.S. arm is very good at EVs right now. They might be good at EVs at some point in the future, but I don't think this is the only reason that they're canceling this pickup truck. Now, one of the reasons might be that there's no real reason for them to have an EV pickup truck from like the federal standards point of view, because at one point in time, if they built a gasoline pickup truck, they had to have something that offset that, and they're willing to make them or lose a little bit of money to offset that gas guzzling truck. And now the Trump administration has basically put the fines for that at zero. Like, you still have to do it, but there's no real penalty for it. So they may have just said, you know what, it's not worth it. It also might be that they're just really bad at building EVs right now. Again, like I said, it's not that Stellantis is not capable or Ram is not capable. There are plenty. I talked to Ram engineers when I was in CES in 2023, Ram engineers and Dodge engineers, and they were all very knowledgeable, like way smarter than I am when it comes to this stuff. I just think they just ran into too many headwinds, and it didn't make financial sense for them. And because of that, they canceled it. What they didn't cancel, though, is the extended range version, or the range extended version, which means it's basically got a little generator, gasoline generator in the truck that will power the battery. So most of the time will run off battery power, but when the battery gets too low and you're still driving around, the gas generator will kick on and charge the battery. And Ram has decided to call that version of the truck the Ram Charger. So yes, they canceled the Ram Charger, but then they renamed another pickup truck the Ram Charger. So that's where that is. In terms of Tesla news, because that's all over EV news today, in terms of Tesla news, Tesla has stopped selling the most affordable Cybertruck, and that would be the rear-wheel drive version, which it might have been called rear-wheel drive long range. I think it was just rear-wheel drive. Anyway, the specs for this truck, it was a single motor. It had textile seats. It had a 7-speaker system, sound system, no rear audio touchscreen, no powered tonneau cover, it was absent of 120 and 240 volt outlets. It had a range of 350 miles, which is pretty good for that size of a pickup truck. But it cost $70,000. So for $70,000, I would like to have a less stripped down pickup truck. Like that, it just seemed like they went really cheap. Like I'm not a marketing or a salesperson, obviously. I'm terrible at it. Otherwise, this podcast would be listened to way more people if I was good at it. But there's this concept where you have a starting price that seems really good, but what you get for that starting price isn't necessarily a good deal compared to what you would get for the next upgraded level of that product. And really, that lower end or more affordable version is really only there so that they can say they start at X dollars. So it starts at $69,000. Cybertruck, you can say, starts at $69,000. However, it's missing a lot of things that you would want, because the next version is $79,000, and it's an all-wheel drive pickup truck. It has vegan leather, 15-speaker audio. It has a touchscreen. It has a powered tonneau cover. It has outlets. The only thing that the rear-wheel drive version does better is it had 350 miles of range versus 325 miles of range. But for $10,000 extra, you get all of those things that you were promised in a Cybertruck. So I don't know that Tesla was ever really serious about selling this vehicle at that price. It could be that they wanted to sell as many as they could at that price. I don't know. I would guess nobody was buying it, and that's why they got rid of it. But yeah, interesting way to try and sell a car. Like for $70,000, I would expect all of those things to be included in the truck, especially the powered tonneau cover and the rear touchscreen and the outlets. All of it doesn't matter. like, I don't really care whether it has 7 speakers or 15 speakers, but I do care, that I'm even okay with the single motor, just everything else, like the textile seats and, no rear touchscreen and no powered tonneau cover, no outlets. That just seemed, it seemed dumb. Like, it's almost like they don't want to sell you the car. Anyway, it's gone, so it doesn't really matter. You can't buy it anymore. Next up, we're going to get a little Robotaxi update. Tesla has received approval to operate Robotaxi in Nevada. We're not sure right now what city they're going to start in, but that's good news. I actually hope they start in Reno. Reno has this really cool road called McCarran Boulevard. And McCarran Boulevard like loops around Reno and Sparks. It doesn't cover all of it, but it like creates kind of this wonky circle around the city. And it makes like this really cool boundary. If you were going to operate a robo-taxi service in Reno and Sparks, it makes this really cool, not natural boundary, but physical boundary, I guess, that you can operate the cars in. And most people live, I can't say that, I haven't lived there for a while, but when I lived there, most people lived within that loop. And I don't know, I thought it was one of the cooler parts of the city. It goes around the Reno airport, around the casinos, although driving in the downtown area in Reno around the casinos, it gets a little congested. But anyway, Reno's my vote for the first place to start the Robotaxi service. And actually, if I had to give a vote, I would say Phoenix, Tempe would be my vote before Reno. But if I had to wait, Reno's fine. Let's see here. Oh, if you would like to join the Robotaxi waitlist, good news, you can, but only if you have an iPhone. If you have an Android phone, you can't just yet. But if you have an iPhone, you just download the app, you open it up, and you say tap to join the waitlist, and you'll put your Tesla login credentials in, and then you've joined the waitlist. So I did that on Sunday. We'll see. We'll see when I actually get in, because obviously it's not in Tempe yet. But it is in Austin. And right now, according to an article I was reading, Robotaxi operates in 170 square miles in Austin, which includes surface streets and highways, which is very impressive. The highway part is something I kind of want to highlight here. Most of that 170 square miles, the safety monitor is able to sit in the passenger seat, right? They're not in the driver's seat. They're able to just kind of sit in the passenger seat. But when Robotaxi uses the highway, the safety monitor has to move from the passenger seat over to the driver's seat, just as Elon would say, out of an overabundance of caution. And I think this is I honestly think this is the right thing to do here, because when you're operating on the highway, you're operating at high speeds. It's always better to have somebody that can actually intervene, as well as the car checking everything out and intervening as well. And then there's new expanded hours, which is 6 a.m. to 2 a.m. for Robotaxi. And I've never been to Austin. I'd really like to go someday, but from what I understand, the bar and music scene goes till quite late. So 6 a.m. to 2 a.m. seems like a reasonable time. All right, everybody. Well, again, that's it for me. You can email me. It's Bodie, BODIE at 918digital.com. You can find me on X at 918digital. I am on LinkedIn. It's Bodie Grimm on LinkedIn. Some of you have found me on LinkedIn. That's cool. I don't post on X, but I do sometimes post on LinkedIn. I definitely post on LinkedIn more than I post on X. So if you want to find me there, you can. And then, yeah, I've got some cool interviews coming up. I'm doing an interview tomorrow with a professor from Carnegie Mellon. I'm super excited, and hopefully it doesn't fall through at the last minute. I feel really confident, is why I'm mentioning it, but I think you're going to really enjoy that interview, and hopefully we're able to create some other interviews from that, because this person is they're doing a lot of things in the EV space, and they're studying stuff that I think is interesting. And I think the community as a whole will find it interesting as well. That'll come out sometime in October. But I've got other interviews as well on autonomous driving, and it just goes. I don't want to give too much away. I'm taking the last week of September off and the first week of October, so you don't have to wait too long before you get to listen to all these interviews. Okay, everybody. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. If I can put together an extra show this week to make up for the one that I missed last week and this particularly short episode this week, I will definitely do that. If I can't, you will definitely get an episode on Friday, because I was listening to a masterclass when I was doing some home stuff, and one of the master classes I was listening to, I forget the topic, but what I took away from it is consistency leads to success, not perfection. And I'm trying to be consistent. Unfortunately, I'm not perfect. So thank you, everybody, for understanding. And I will talk to you for sure on Friday, possibly a day in between. All right, everybody, take care.
Trimble knows that in the industries we all depend on, where speed counts, every turn matters. Trimble is the technology company that connects your physical and digital worlds, so you can see what's coming, take intelligent action, and get hard work done faster than you ever thought possible. Check them out at Trimble.com. Ready to turn data points into decision points, turn deadlines into finish lines, and turn possibilities into profits? Then turn to Trimble. Trimble, confidence at every turn.
How many times have you wished you could be in two places at once? With Wix, you practically can. Wix's website builder is packed with powerful AI tools to make running your business online easier. Build a full site just by talking with AI. Get an AI agent to manage your sales and marketing. Or work like a 10-person team, even if it's just you. So you don't need superpowers to get everything done. You just need Wix. Try it now for free at Wix.com.
Listen. That's the sound of the fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron. The sound of captivating electric performance, dynamic drive, and the quiet confidence of ultra-smooth handling. The elevated interior reminds you this is more than an EV. This is electric performance redefined. The fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron.